Weinstein's lawyer is a woman who likes to blame the victims of rape and sexual assault. Her name is Donna Rotunno, and recently she was interviewed for the podcast called The Daily. It's the New York Times podcast. And there were two portions of it that I want to share with you. But before I do so, just to back up a little bit and give you an update on what's happening with Weinstein's case. In a trial of Harvey Weinstein, 6 women have taken the stand, each making similar accusations of rape and sexual assault against the movie producer. Now, long before an avalanche of allegations against Weinstein set off a global reckoning over sexual harassment, Ms. Rotunno, who's his lawyer, was steadily building a career as a criminal lawyer in Chicago with an unusual specialty, defending men accused of sex crimes. Now, I want to stop for a second. Look, our justice system works this way. You were supposed to have defense attorneys, right? So, defense attorneys do what they do. They try to defend an individual who's been accused of terrible things, including rape. And that's what this woman is doing here. But her ideology, which she's very transparent about in this interview, is shocking and incredibly depressing. And I want you to hear what she has to say. Take a listen.
These are still choices that women are making. And whether they're choices you're happy you made or not happy you made, you still made a choice. And women have to start owning those choices, and they either have to say, I'm not gonna do these things to attempt to get a job, or I'm going to own my choice for making that decision.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? I'm trying to understand how that, when you say that women have choices, I'm trying to understand how that does not extend to you saying that women have a choice whether or not to be sexually harassed or sexually assaulted, that you seem to be placing all of the responsibility on the woman.
Megyn, I'm not putting all of the responsibility on the woman. I'm placing responsibility on the woman. Women cannot be equal if women don't start taking on equal risk. Women want men to take on all the risk. They want to then put themselves in whatever situation they're in and then walk out and say, oh my God, I had no idea that was going to happen to me. You can't have it both ways. And when you're put in circumstances that you think are questionable or negative, or you don't want to be in, or you think this is the only way I'm going to get the job, we know that that's ridiculous. We know that if women stand up and say, I'm not going to take this, I'm not going to do this, you have other options.
So anyone who's been following this story knows that Harvey Weinstein would essentially tell these women, either you let me do this, allegedly, either you let me do this or you're out of a job, and I will destroy your opportunities in this entire industry. And so if a woman is placed in that position, right? She's being victimized with sexual assault and rape. But then on top of that, she's being told, if you don't comply, you don't give me what you want, your entire career is over. Think about what that means, right? Not just for a woman's dreams, but more importantly, her livelihood, right? Everything that she's worked for, everything that she's wanted, and for this woman to pretend as though it was the woman's choice, it was her choice to be raped and sexually assaulted, is unbelievable to me.
And guys, I don't want to let her twist the fact pattern here.
Right.
The reality is, in most of the cases, Weinstein would forcibly attack the women. I remember the one story of the actress that he just, like, the minute she opened the door a little bit, and he was banging on the door, the minute she opened the door a little bit, he forces the door open, and then he physically assaults her, rapes her. What choice did she have? That's an insane conversation, talk about choice. Another woman he cornered when she got out of the bathroom and there was no one else there in the hallway, and he wouldn't let her pass out of the hallway, he took out his genitalia. What choice did she have? What kind of an insane conversation is this? They just have some modicum of self-respect. So I know lawyers represent bad guys, I get it, but you don't have to do this publicly.
Exactly.
In representing him. And by the way, she's making a ton of money representing him. So she's not a public defender. She's choosing to do this. She has chosen to make a career defending the worst people and make a ton of money from it. So it's to understand that context.
Yeah.
Yeah, this really like made me feel sad, when I saw this, because when you defend someone who's a serial, assaulter and what seems like rapist, like Harvey Weinstein, there are certain modes of defense that might be about circumstantial evidence or the nature of the relationship or trying to throw out various forms of evidence. But actually this type of defense, saying that women have a choice when these sorts of violent acts occur to them, basically implies that the only choice that women have to not have this occur is to be in a cage, to be at home, to not do anything. In fact, specifically in this article, she states that they have a choice to walk out at night or not. What kind of society does she want women to live in? That's the question I have.
Right, and the way that she tries to twist this as like, oh, well, if you want equality for women, well, this is the world that you live in, and you gotta take responsibility for the choices you. No, we're not having a conversation about. Let's say there are two individuals, auditioning for the same job, and the woman doesn't get it, and then she claims that it's because of sexism. I mean, by the way, those cases do happen. No, this is a case where someone victimizes on a regular basis women who have way less power than him.
Right. There's a false equivalency because the number of assaults on men by women is far less than men toward women.
Yeah, and so she says, well, look, if you want the same jobs, you have to take risks. But what risk are men taking being raped by women at work? That almost never happens. So is that a risk women should go through in order to get a job? Take entertainment out of it. What if it's an engineering job? Oh, well, hey, you got to risk being raped by your boss. What? That's insanity. It's the worst defense I have ever seen. If anything, it's gonna make everyone much more livid against their client, and it does speak to our morality, if you ask me, or lack thereof. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.